the access to resources and advanced technologies. We have supported the ongoing training of information specialists, and we have defended the interests of our libraries and our information centers. This synergy not only increases the standards of library services, but also contributes to the educational progress, cultural progress, and social progress of the Latin American Caribbean communities, promoting a more informed, more prepared, and more inclusive society. The division of Latin American Caribbean, that used to be known as the section of Latin American Caribbean, is one of the 6 divisions that constitute part of the IFLA structure. At present, our division is constituted by 90 members representing a broad diversity of countries in the region. I will take the opportunity to introduce all the members of this division, this professional team, in this way. These photographs. At an organization level, the work of IFLA is based on promoting and identifying priorities for our region. Likewise, it defines and executes action plans responding to these needs and to strengthening the voice of libraries, among many other issues. In collaboration with the regional office of IFLA for Latin American and Caribbean, it works together with other library organizations in the region, with libraries and institutions, to defend and be the voice of our information centers vis-a-vis the political, social, and economic challenges that often affect the services that we provide. Likewise, we will continue to work in alliances and collaborations with other divisions, organizations of IFLA, and high-level organizations to face all the germane issues of our area. Beyond this organization description, it is crucial to highlight that this work is not carried out in a solitary way. There's an essential component. What is this component? We, the professionals of information. Thus, today, we're not only going to celebrate the 50th anniversary of IFLA, but also we're going to celebrate the commitment of all those library scientists, librarians, people that work in archives, documentary specialists, specialists in information, curators of content, knowledge managers, information analysts, information consultants, facilitators of learning, and I could continue listing all those different categories that identify us. All these professionals of information with a diversity of names have been the real protagonists of this journey of 50 years. Thus, in other words, those who have been part of this valuable trajectory and also the leaders that will continue to collaborate and support the goals of our division are the real protagonists of this celebration. A round of applause for all of you. You all deserve it. Many lovely faces on this photograph. I will give credit to some presentations that I was able to locate that were placed on the internet on slides shared by Mrs. Elizabeth Ramos de Carvalho, and also the colleague Ricardo Rodriguez from Brazil that provided me with a lot of photos so I could show them here, as well as information that I could share with you today, this morning. So let's talk about the history. Around 10 years ago in Mexico celebrated the 40th anniversary of IFLA, highlighting a lot of the actions carried out by this organization throughout those 4 decades. I will not repeat all this. That's not my aim, but it is important to highlight some of the information that mark the history and the achievements of this organization in the region, and then address some of the things that we have been doing in the last 10 years. So again, I will appreciate all the people that provided me with information so I could give this presentation here today. I want to emphasize on Miguel from Cuba, Viciedo,
and Mr. Ricardo Flores from Brazil, Angelica from Chile, Jonathan Hernandez, Maricela Castro, and all those individuals that while I was looking for information to retrieve important data regarding these 50 years of life, they said yes, and they helped me achieve this process. Throughout these 50 years of IFLA, there has been an evolution, not only of the logo, but there has been evolution of its work dynamics and other essential aspects. This evolution reflects the ongoing changes of humankind, of technologies, and the new realities, among other things. But it also reflects the goal of benefiting our organization and the field of information in our region, symbolizing a commitment that projects innovation and excellence in the field of libraries and information. So, 1974 is a year that marks the history of the establishment of the section of Latin America and the Caribbean of IFLA, today known as the LAC Division. As of its establishment, different events started to leave a mark that today define our organization. In 1976, the first ongoing committee for Latin America and the Caribbean was established, and we also created the regional divisions of IFLA, the purpose of which was to increase awareness about regional diversity within the organization, providing a platform that would allow us to face the challenges of each region and promote the exchange of knowledge and collaboration between libraries at a global level. In 1979, we established the first regional office in Latin America and the Caribbean in Venezuela, in Caracas, and that same year, the first information bulletin was published, helping to consolidate communication and exchange, professional exchange, and this is what I'm showing in this slide right now. This timeline also marks the years in which different countries were held offices, Venezuela, Mexico, and Argentina. It also marks the years in which our region held IFLA conferences, and also marks the year 2021, which is the date in which the LAC section was promoted to regional division. In this trajectory, this 50-year trajectory, as can be seen in the timeline, in the earlier timeline, there's a highlight of the significant achievements. And it's also germane to mention that we have had and have representation of Latin America and the Caribbean in the government board, as well the ruling board, and we also have a regional council headed by Latin America, Mr. Alejandro Sanpa. This aspect ensures that our needs in Latin America and the Caribbean are also considered upon taking decisions. I should highlight the celebration of the 3 IFLA conferences in our region. We all know that to hold an IFLA conference of this importance is not an easy task, especially when we're aware of the great budget and organizational challenges that a conference like this implies. So, having said this, we had the conference in Havana, Cuba in 1994. It was our first conference in a Caribbean country. Then Buenos Aires in 2004, the second one in the region, and in 2011, the conference in San Juan, Puerto Rico. These achievements not only emphasize our organizational capacity, but also reaffirm our commitment with the development and promotion of information and libraries in Latin America and the Caribbean. We expect to be able to, again, hold an IFLA conference during this decade. So we are not lacking enthusiasm, and in this case, there are countries that are interested in doing this, and we're doing everything possible so that we can again hold an IFLA conference in Puerto Rico. Let's see what happens. At present, our actions continue to focus on increasing the visibility and the representativity within IFLA's global structures, so our challenges can be understood more clearly. We also look to strengthen the regional collaboration between libraries and LAC associations to promote the best practices, to carry out projects, joint projects, and to strengthen our professional networks. We also seek to influence the information and educational policies at regional and global level, working as international bodies and local governments to defend sustainability, digital inclusion, and to defend our profession. This is achieved through creating action plans that can enable and respond to the goals and needs presented by our region. And precisely, it has been the work plans that have allowed us to promote actions that promote excellence in the libraries in our region through initiatives and activities that are in line with the general strategies of IFLA, and that also seek to satisfy our needs in our region. Actions such as training, professional development through workshops, seminars, and conferences have allowed our libraries to be updated with the latest trends, latest technologies and methodologies and information and library services. We also work in collaboration and exchange of experiences between libraries and professionals in different Latin American and Caribbean countries and internationally in order to be able to learn and emulate the best practices. In terms of defending the library policies, IFLA is highly committed to influence the government policies regarding libraries. Likewise, it promotes research and the development through organizing research projects regarding the incidents and best practices. We work to ensure access to information and to promote literacy and information in the region. And we also participate in international networks related to IFLA at a global level in order to ensure that the concerns and needs of libraries in Latin America and the Caribbean be taken into account upon taking decisions and in international policies. And I'm referring to the government board. I will show some of the actions that have marked the excellence of the last 10 years and have had a significant impact. One of them is the internship in Latin America and the Caribbean that started in 2009 in Mexico as a strategy, a training strategy based on the concept of learning through doing and learning. To learn through doing and to learn through observing. Our goal is to give continuity to this program, and therefore we have carried out important efforts to ensure its sustainability. Among the actions taken, we signed an agreement of internships between the Congress of the Nation in Argentina and the College of Professionals in Bolivia to strengthen both the profession and the library associations. In the same line, recently, members of the National Association of Librarians in Ecuador visited the National Library of the Congress in Argentina, where they exchanged labor and cultural experiences in order to apply the best practices in their different information units. The purpose with these internships is to emulate what we started to do in 2009, and we're doing great efforts to carry this out. In 2021, IFLA joined a campaign to retrieve the diversity of libraries existing in Latin America and the Caribbean. Within this context, the context of the Ibero-American Year of Libraries, and in close alliance with achieving the goals of the Agenda 2030, we carried out different seminars for a period of time, and as part of that, we published some videos that are the product of this great effort. So I will now show you a very short video of this great effort. I will pause it so it can be placed in the room in the back, so it can be heard by everybody. In the Ibero-American Year of Libraries, The International Federation of Associations of Librarians and Libraries, the section of Latin America and the Caribbean, and the Ibero-American Program of Public Libraries presents the present of our libraries in the creation of spaces in the future spaces. What do we have in libraries? We don't have a past and we don't have a future. Ray Bradbury. In the former conference of ministers of culture in Latin America carried out in 2019, year 2021 was declared the Ibero-American Year of Libraries. This agreement establishes the opportunity to open a regional conversation and reflect about the existence of libraries in our region and analyze their role in the development of countries. Within the context of a pandemic and amidst great challenges regarding access to information, each of the different kinds of libraries were reaffirmed as necessary spaces, trustworthy spaces that ensure not only this access, but ensuring the development of cultural rights of the region. The Iberian Year of Libraries will bring together all the different types of libraries: national, public, popular, community, digital libraries, mobile and itinerant, university, school libraries, specialized libraries, libraries and prisons, among many others. The topics to address are different. The diversity of libraries, typologies and services, the challenges of libraries after the pandemic, libraries beyond books, a place for people, innovations in libraries. What does innovate imply and how to do it? Libraries as essential entities for development of the 2030 agenda, libraries, cultural libraries for the inclusions of small populations at a social disadvantage. We invite you to be part of this adventure. (2021) Ibero-American Year of Libraries, Spaces of Future.
Wonderful work. So now to continue speaking about the defense of library policies and our profession as a whole, IFLA has been very vocal and has manifested against the injustices that affect our centers of information. To give you some examples of said actions, I'm going to present on the screen some of the open letters that describe our support or our positioning and rejection of different aspects that affect libraries in countries of our region. An example of that would be layoff of 120 employees of the National Library Mariano Moreno in Argentina as a result of the new governmental adjustments. We also positioned ourselves against, actually, we did this together with the Regional Center for the Promotion of Reading in Latin America and the Caribbean to show solidarity and concern with the events that were affecting the sustainability of popular libraries in Argentina. We also express ourselves against the risk of the library professional career and the attempt to close the university studies in the country after a wide campaign of protests in which we also supported the Ecuadorian government, listened to the request and gathered with the institutions to discuss the matter. However, I must say that in spite of the fact that they listened to the professionals, still, public libraries are hiring people who have no studies in library studies. So it was half of a battle. We still have many things to defend. Now, regarding solidarity and the support of popular libraries of a bill of law that was proposed to eliminate libraries in Argentina, we were also able to express ourselves, and fortunately, all of the efforts, including our support as an organizations, bear fruits, and we were able to stop some of the harmful intents. However, we still have a long way ahead of us. We still need to pay attention to many of the things that are still happening in some of our countries. Each Latin American country has different realities and faces different challenges. And so the division has to pay attention to everything that is unraveling in each one of the places. Now, speaking about sustainable development goals, we have been promoting SDGs greatly. IFLA has actively participated in the 2030 agenda events organized by UNAM. Alejandro Santa, the current chair of the IFLA Regional Council, as well as myself, we have spoken about the experiences of Latin American libraries and the role that professional organizations in the region play to achieve SDGs. In this case, I would like to mention regarding the SDGs that correspond to our field in Latin America and the Caribbean, we are working really hard to achieve the objectives, but those things are not visible enough. There are two things that have to be considered. One of them is the difficulty that many countries are facing to publish their breakthroughs, and the other one, many libraries that are contributing to the SDGs don't even know they're doing that. So a part of the activities in which we as members of the division, the things we do, is we provide visibility to the work, the actions people are undertaking. As far as the promotion and the collaboration in the SDGs, we are also working on a campaign in which we are inviting the countries of the region to contribute with this data for the global library map, data map. It is a campaign that is being worked in Portuguese, Spanish, and English. We are updating the directory of libraries so that we can promote all of the efforts and campaigns that are being held. And we're also having a written format of the campaign. I am going to ask the booth to present the video of the campaigns that we are currently having to invite the community to be a part of the global library map.
Adelante.
Dear colleagues, I'm Marisela Castro from Mexico. I invite you to provide more visibility to the statistical data of the SDGs around libraries. We want to learn what's happening in your countries and what you're doing to support SDGs. Have you seen that person on the clip somewhere else? Well, we have also been carrying out many activities around SDGs, workshops, conferences, chats, where we have also presented what Latin American libraries are doing. IFLA conferences, for instance, in Rotterdam, and other workshops that have been guiding librarians to contribute to the global library map. In terms of professional training and the exchange of experiences and research and development, this is a sample of the latest activities that we have organized through IFLA or with the collaboration IFLA Lab. As you all know, this organization offers yearly seminars on advocacy where we share experiences to promote the library work. It also collaborates with workshops with the purpose of improving the capabilities of information professionals in the region. We also focus on presenting our priorities, the way in which we contribute, and the way in which libraries and professional organizations can help us. Speaking about global visibility, throughout the years, we have actively participated in international conferences of IFLA, fora, and other important organizations. We present our experiences, our knowledge, our practices, and we also speak about the importance of defending our languages, our voices, and our cultures. Vis-a-vis new technologies, we cannot forget the role of artificial intelligence, AI. We all know that AI is changing many things of our labor lives and our worlds. And because of this, IFLA has been developing different activities to discuss the theoretical, practical, and future aspects of AI. It is important for information professionals to understand AI so that they can take advantage of it, both within libraries as well as in their professional performance. To conclude, here are some images of our collaboration with the Latin American and Caribbean regional offices in updating the manifesto on the internet, IFLA's manifesto. It works to provide access to the web and promote an understanding throughout the region of how to take advantage of it. So it is now important for us to think about the future of our organization, since all of our achievements, the breakthroughs, are not enough for the challenges that we are still facing and will face ahead of us. Therefore, it is important for us to analyze what are the current needs that libraries have and library professionals, librarians. What are the challenges that we are currently enduring, weathering, and what are the action plans that can be framed within those realities and that seek for the solutions that we need. Therefore, as an organization, we should stand firm and extend collaboration ties with IFLA organizations, regional groups, as well as other institutions and organizations of different nature. It is important for us to keep on carrying out actions so that our information spaces and our libraries can adapt to the new technologies, which will keep on evolving quickly and will keep on being challenges for the region. There is a gap now for fair access to information resources. And therefore, in spite of the fact that technologies have evolved a lot and they can provide great benefits, we are still seeing that there's a gap between the rural and the urban, as well as between the countries of different income levels. Therefore, IFLA intents must strengthen the training and the professional aid to all professionals in the region so that we can promote new technological skills and adoption of new emerging technologies. And we should provide new solutions that are tailor-made to the local needs of each country. On the other hand, we are still facing difficulties in many of our countries while trying to preserve the heritage of our nations that is threatened by physical deterioration, obsolete technologies, and others. And it is not that we have not done work on this. We have seen many countries that have done great efforts, but still there are many other countries that need a little push in that direction. The strategy has to provide continuity to the promotion of digitalization and preservation efforts at the long run, collaborating with preservation experts and using advanced technology so that we can protect the cultural heritage of the nations. Sustainability from the financial perspective is always one of the biggest challenges. Many of the libraries in the region have budgetary restrictions that limit their abilities to offer their services and updating their infrastructure. IFLA's strategy, therefore, has to explore new financing models for libraries and to diversify funding by the creation of strategic alliances with the private companies, the private world, and to try different collection methods so that libraries can apply those techniques and promote subsidies and international aids. Social inclusion is still a challenge in our region. There are segments of the population, including marginalized communities, indigenous groups, and other societal areas that have no access to library services. Therefore, it is important to implement specific programs to promote social, cultural inclusion and collaborate with local communities to develop services that truly meet their needs that are specific. In many of our countries, we have started programs like this, but many of them, they start with great enthusiasm and then the energy is lost. Therefore, it is important for us to reinforce this so that continuity and follow-up is given all the way through. And in spite of the fact that this organization always has an objective to strengthen international and regional cooperation in diverse places, it's still challenging. For this, IFLA has to continue organizing and participating in events, conferences, and joint projects. It is important to keep on integrated countries that are not integrated in our work group so that we can expand collaboration networks and can increase exchange of resources and knowledge. After everything that I have expressed today, which does not cover everything that is needed. I am aware that in this room, there are many people who have great experience that know perhaps more of the organization than myself, and I could speak better of all the things that have to be conveyed. I try to summarize and present it in a friendly manner today, so I hope you found that useful. I encourage everyone to keep on thinking about the current challenges that the information field is facing and to acknowledge the opportunities that emerge when we collaborate and share the knowledge. It is because of those challenges that we have been growing and found new solutions full of innovation. So now, not only do I speak about the importance of the cooperation between professionals, but also as a collective, it is important for us to see how to promote the work of communities and libraries together, because not only about IFLA as an organization, but rather every community, all of the things that we can do if we join forces. Now more than ever, it is of the essence for us to be committed, to be active members of the collaboration effort. Your participation, your contributions are essential for us to have a real lasting impact. I encourage you to keep on working, providing ideas, working together towards a future that is more connected and richer for everyone involved. Thank you very much for your attention, and I thank the organizers of this event for giving us this space for us to talk. Thank you for your attention, your time. And once again, I would like to congratulate IFLA for the 50th anniversary. Quite an achievement. We celebrate decades of dedication in the field that we honor. This anniversary is not only one that marks the past, a rich history, but a future of possibilities that we will build together. Thank you, everyone. Dr. Jeannette Lebrón, thank you very much for having opened the celebration of the 50th anniversary. It is important to look back, to look at the things that we have constructed, to look at the victories and the challenges that we have faced and are still facing. In all of the graphics, the charts, it's so nice to see the colleagues that have participated throughout time. Many people have contributed and they need to receive their credit. We honor the work they have given the organization. We thank you. And I'm certain that after this conference, people who will continue participating in the 50th anniversary will be able to chip in so that we can create the a good framing for the event by looking into the past, by acknowledging what has been achieved, so that we become aware of how strong we are and how much we can do towards the future. Thank you very much. And she deserves a hand. Thank you very much.